So when I first started in this work, it was primarily around race and gender. Those were the key foundations of inequity taking place in those areas, and we want to address it. Now it is expanded into more issues of diversity being viable, and I think that is a good thing. But as we expand the issues, we have not addressed the concept of how do I help with the issues of others. So we got, some companies got 27 employee resource groups, so everybody got their own issues. But am I being empowered to say which issues don't I have and what role should I play when I don't have an issue to those who are having an issue? We call that concept privilege. You see what I'm saying? So I may have an issue of race, but I'm still 6'2", 240, so losing a little bit now, about 230. But but the reality is that I can speak up for women, or I can just keep talking race all the time. And I think that we have not created collective accountability for others. We're kind of going the route of, let's see how many different issues we can bring to the table, and people can kind of share those versus play a role in change. And so I think individual accountability for being inclusive and understanding your points of privilege, which is areas where you don't have the problem, is going to be the key to driving the change. And if not, this work will become more about whining versus being accountable. And then I think the second part is you're doing all that to produce better business outcomes. So really, people have taken this work to such a personal level that they've loosened up on the main objective, which is to drive business outcomes and not build that case strong enough. So all the time, you may start with your personal issue, and that's a natural place to start. We're only human. But I got to build from that into what is the value for the organization in helping address this personal issue from a business outcome standpoint. And then I think the third piece, which is not taking place today as much, is just totally understanding the business strategy. So I like to start there. How do you make money? How do you succeed? And then once I know that very well, I can say how D&I can help that, or how D&I is hurting that. So I start with what's biggest for you versus starting what's biggest for me. Right now, we've got so many people unsatisfied and excluded. It's like a island of the lost versus an island of the strong to make the organization strong. So we have to reposition it, not go with that we're a loser mindset, but we're here to create gain and expectations for the organization and for everybody within it. And so that's the transition. It's about individual accountability, people taking ownership of driving the change that's needed, and making sure they're doing it with the business success in mind.